Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's the Gaming Goblin. Welcome to Pokemon Crystal. It's been a while, hasn't it? When's the last time you've seen an actual Let's Play episode on this channel? I know. But we're here with some Pokemon Crystal, and yes, I've played this game on the channel in the past, a few years ago. Mostly in streaming form. But today we're going to start a Let's Play series of it. So instead of a nice 2-3 hour VOD, we're going to instead opt for some nice, delicious bite-size, 20-minute videos. So, and I never actually finished Pokemon Crystal on stream before, I don't think. Or if I did, the VOD doesn't exist. So we're starting fresh, a brand new experience. This is one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. Look at this sprite. Look at Whooper. He's so happy to see us. He's got a smile, he's got a Wi-Fi signal on his belly. That means we're connected to the internet, we're ready to game, we're ready to have a grand old time. And here's old Professor Ock. He's gonna tell us about some sweet stuff. I mean, you know the drill, it's Pokemon, come on. Come on now. My name is gonna be, we're just gonna call ourselves Goblin. Because this is the Gaming Goblin channel after all. So we gotta start, return to the roots here. I'm probably going to be rusty as hell. It's been so long since you've heard my voice on an actual video on this channel that even I don't remember what I sound like. But I know World of Dreams and Adventures with Pokemon awaits, so let's get started. And because it's been so long, I'm probably going to be having fun with the audio here. I tried to make sure the balance was just right before I got started, but you never know. My ideal goal getting back into these videos is that I don't really want to edit too much, so we're going to try to do this all like one take Jake, a nice raw recording, but the issue may always arise where, the audio levels in the recording are still so low I might need to artificially boost it in post-production, so we'll see. But I do know that today is Thursday, and it's not daylight savings, because it's getting dark as shit super early now. Time to go to bed at like 5 p.m. these days. Happy November, everybody. I do know how to use the phone, but you're gonna tell me how to do it anyway, right? Yep, okay. Yep, it is convenient. And it's really great, too, that I only have 10 slots in the Pokegear, and Mother and Professor Elm take up 2 slots right off the rip. So that's good. Ugh, excuse me. Okay. So I already know what starter I'm going to be picking, and you guys might not like it, but I'm going to go for Chikorita. Everyone kind of shits on Chikorita, but Chikorita's had a huge glow-up in the newest Pokemon entry, Legends ZA, or as I like to call it, Legends Zaza, with the new Mega Evolution of Meganium. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not. I mean, you know the drill, come on. I did play Legends ZA, and I beat it, and I haven't done any post-game stuff yet, but I do really, really enjoy it. I highly recommend. Now, it is a $70 price tag, so that's a bit of a hurdle that we gotta start getting used to, unfortunately, and also the Switch 2 itself. I'll be honest, I wasn't that impressed with it. It was the only console I ever bought on launch day, and I was like, eh. I played Mario Kart World, and I did a little bit of Bravely Default, the Switch 2 port, and then I really enjoyed playing Pokemon. It was probably my favorite game I played on the system so far, but it really doesn't have enough of a library yet to justify paying full price for the console. So I think, maybe in a year's time, maybe by like middle of next year, it might be worth getting. But I can understand people's hesitancy to getting the system, especially since the Switch 1 works just fine. And also Pokemon Legends is on Switch 1. I don't know how it performs on it, but at least it's an option, And in typical Gaming Goblin fashion, I'm talking about a completely different video game while I'm playing this video game. But it's still both Pokemon, so... Okay, well, what do we got here? Oh, we got an email. Remember, that was the new technology at the time. This was 2001. So everyone had email and cell phones back then. It was the hot new tech. I mean, email's probably been around since like the 80s, as far as I'm aware. But, you know, mainstream appeal. Everyone had their AOL accounts. MSN Messenger. Alright, where's Chikorita at? Nope, that's Cyndaquil. I usually pick Cyndaquil. I think I picked him twice in the previous streams I've done of this game. Of course, it's gonna be the last one I pick. No. So I don't really know what my team's gonna be yet. I'm kind of thinking loosely that I might catch one Pokemon after each gym for the team to kind of like pace it out a bit, so I can have a little bit of variety and see, you know, see some options. We're not going to go for 100%, you know, full Pokedex or anything like that, but I do want to beat, you know, the story in the post game. I wonder if I can fit Epic Weed on here. Let's see. Sorry if you hear my controller. I am using an Xbox controller for this because it's just what I have. And yes, we are emulating today because sadly my Elgato is broken and I have to get a new one. I do like to play on authentic hardware if I can help it, but unfortunately today we gotta go the emulator route. But that might actually be helpful because we can sort of expedite any potential grinding by, you know, speeding up the emulation. Actually, let's see. Oh, there we go. We can do something like that. But we're gonna limit our use of that and probably just do it off camera, you know, if there's any grinding that needs to be done. Like I said, we'll see. I'm flying by the seat of my pants with this Let's Play. It's easily been over half a year since I've recorded anything on this channel. Actually, probably closer to, it was like March. So, oof. 8 months, I think? 8 months since I've, like, actually sat down and recorded something, and that was Titanfall 2. So let's save, just so we can get a little baseline going here. Yep, let's overwrite, no big deal. But yeah, we're gonna train up Chikorita. I picked the most difficult starter to start with, since the first gym is flying type, so we do need to get a little bit of training under the belt. And it wouldn't be the worst idea to have a second team member on deck, but I'm gonna try to just brute force it, you know. We got this guy here, he's gonna bug us later. Teach us how to catch Pokemon. If we say no to him, he gets all passive-aggressive, so, you know, there's that. And we got Sentret, hello. Good old Sentret, can't go wrong. Is it supposed to be a raccoon or a tanuki? Well, it's probably more of a tanuki than a raccoon because there's Zigzagoon in Gen 3. Did I turn off the battle animations? Oh yeah, and I guess I should just do a little disclaimer. This is an old Game Boy Color game, so there might be some flashing lights and things like that. So if you're prone to seizure, I mean, if you're prone to seizure, you probably know to stay away from elements of these types of games anyway, so you don't need me to tell you that. Text speed fast, battle scene on. I want to do on because I want to see. Let's have fun. And yeah, that works. You know, we're not trying to rush through. We're trying to get a nice, full, enjoyable Pokemon Crystal experience, and we want to get all the elements. If I really wanted to optimize for speed, and you know, I've never really speedran a game before. I attempted to speedrun Spyro 2, but I got so far as the first level, and then I was like, this isn't for me. So, even though Spyro 2 is my favorite game of all time, and we'll probably play it. I don't know if I've actually ever played original Spyro 2 on the PS1 on this channel. I definitely did the remake. Oh, yo, we get Hoppip! That's right, because it's the morning right now. I'm recording this nice and early. So, we do have the potential for some morning Pokemon, which is nice. But, Hoppip's probably not going to go on my team. My ideal team composition would be all Johto Pokemon, all native to Johto, and no type overlap. So, Chikorita and then later Meganium is going to be full grass type, so that's basically off the table. Hoppip is grass flying, and so is Jumpluff, so we're probably not going to have him on the team. Because I like a good team composition, and since we are using an emulator, I don't think trading is possible. I've never attempted it. Maybe if you run 2 emulators at once and do it that way, but I'm sure there's a workaround. I'm sure creative people on the internet have found a way to do that, but we're probably not gonna go for any you know, trade evolutions. So no Steelix, no Caesar, things like that. It's all good though. Alright, and look at that, we're already level 6, so we're getting there. And because I'm gonna be kind of disadvantaged for this first gym, I am gonna opt for fighting every wild trainer battle. I like to do that anyway. I know it doesn't make for the most entertaining video, especially for like a game like this, but it is kind of messed up to say, but I do actually like grinding in JRPGs. Like this in Dragon Quest, I just love grinding. Because you can listen, put on a podcast, chill, things like that. Obviously you can't do that for this Let's Play. I shouldn't have any background audio playing. But in a normal casual play setting, you can kind of just mung out and just watch a video or something, have something going on in the background while you're grinding, and that's kind of why I like it. I know grinding isn't for everyone, and thankfully a lot of, you know, modern JRPGs, they have quality of life features to sort of expedite things. You know, you can like X2 or X3 battle speeds. And what I really like about Dragon Quest is you can set your tactics to sort of automatic, so to have the characters choose the moves instead of, you know, micromanaging. But I know some people really like the micromanagement element of RPGs, especially when you have multiple party members and not just like the singular one like in Pokemon. The day that Pokemon adds auto battle, which it will definitely happen, I'm calling it now. The day that Pokemon adds auto battle will be an interesting day, to say the least. Hello. I wanted to take a break, so I saved to record my progress. That's a good idea, and I'm gonna save as well, since we did level up. Can never be too careful. I don't want, you know, in case I drop my game cartridge, in case I drop my Game Boy Color that I'm legitimately playing this on right now, you know, it's always good to save. Hello. You can't climb ledges. You have to take a fucking shortcut. So this is a later game route. We'll be coming down this way once we finish up Blackthorn City, I think it's called. Where the 8th gym is. But there's a couple unique Pokemon here. I think you can get Geodude here, which would probably be a good choice for the first gym. But he's a Kanto Pokemon, so I don't think I want him on my team. I've got very arbitrary and slightly autistic rules for my Pokemon playthroughs. And that's one of them. No type overlaps, and you try to use all Pokemon from the gym. This is our first Pidgey we see, and if we kill it, I think we'll hit level 7. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now the good news is Faulkner has a Pidgey and a Pidgeotto, I think. He might have a second Pidgey, I don't remember. I think Pidgeotto is probably going to be the scariest one to deal with. And yes, I'm saving again because I leveled up. I can't believe it's already been over 10 minutes so far, that's crazy. Hello there. It's scary to jump off of them, but you can go to New Bark without walking through the grass! That's what she sounds like, by the way, in case you didn't know. Oh, here we go. So he's waiting for nighttime Pokemon. If you talk to him during the night, guess what? He's waiting for daytime Pokemon. Look at that, we got a berry. Very handy. And, you know, I'm gonna equip that to our little character here. Also to free up some space. I probably should save it for the gym fight, but I don't really care. It's gonna be a little bit before we even get to the gym anyway. So, oop, one more battle. I might trigger the berry right now for all I know. So we're making good progress so far. We're almost at Cherry Grove. I almost called it Cherry Wood. my brain is so it's early, folks, so I gotta wake up. But yeah, if you have any suggestions for potential teammates on this Pokemon team, something that I could get, you know, without trading, and that's ideally no type overlap, and also a Johto Pokemon. If you have any good ideas, let me know in the comments. And hopefully we can get to that. But there's a lot of content in this game. You know, the whole post-game is basically just the game, a whole new game essentially, so I'm really excited to play this one. It's gonna be, if we end up beating this, it's gonna be quite a beefy Let's Play with many, many episodes, so... And it's Pokemon, you can't go wrong with Pokemon. So if you do this little tutorial, you get the map card, which gives you the map on your Pokegear, so it's always a good idea to do. Not that, you know, you really need the map. And then once you get Fly, you basically get a free map anyway. But, you know, might as well get it, right? Wouldn't hurt. But yeah, I love Johto and Hoenn region are two of my favorite regions. Like, Gold, Silver, Crystal, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Some of my favorite Pokemon games ever. But Red was my... And I'm sure I've talked about this in previous Pokemon Let's Plays, but Pokemon Red was my first actual Pokemon game. A cousin gave me his copy, and I played it on my Game Boy Color, played the shit out of it. But I didn't get it when it came out. I got it, like, in the early 2000s, after this game was already out. And then, once I beat the game is when Ruby and Sapphire came out, so, like, 03. So I had friends at school that had, Ruby and Sapphire, but I didn't have a Game Boy Advance yet. So I was stuck playing this one, and I was like, damn it, the FOMO. Like, I was feeling FOMO really early in my life. Especially in the schoolyard days, you know? Everyone's playing the hot new toy, and you're sitting there with, like, your 5-plus-year-old games and things like that, and you're like, oh, damn it. But you know what? What I love about these old games is that I just love replaying them. Like, I can just hop back into it. The Pokemon games and Skyrim are games that I can always just find myself hopping right back into without any problem. It's quite nice. With the exception of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I don't really have a strong desire to replay those, at least casually. Maybe I'll do a Let's Play of them one day, especially once I get a new working Elgato. But, admittedly, I don't really want to replay those again. I enjoyed my first playthrough of Scarlet and Violet, but, we'll buy an antidote. Because I know there's some Weedles up ahead. But yeah, I enjoyed my first playthrough of Scarlet and Violet, but playing it again, it's just, the open world concept was nice for one playthrough, but doing it again, it's kind of like, you just get option paralysis. I'm getting to the point in my life now where I really don't care that much about open world games, especially new open world games. Because I know I brought up Skyrim a little bit ago, but, you know, I'm kind of, I can roll with the punches with Skyrim and Oblivion and stuff, because I know I'm getting into with those games. But, like, a new game that's, like, open world, it's like, alright, eh. But some people like it, you know, it is what it is. Everyone has their preferences, it's no big deal. And we got Pidgey again. I do appreciate in some of the Pokemon games, like, I think Black and White is the best example, where all the Pokemon in the base game are brand new. They're all, like, Gen 5 Pokemon, and then it isn't until you beat the game that older Pokemon get unlocked. That might have been the only example in the franchise's history where that happens. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, you do get a large portion of new Pokemon, but eventually they do start mixing in, you know, older Pokemon once you get a good portion into the game. Well, this Pidgey's kind of tough. Damn. But that's okay, because that's XP, baby. I'm going to try to limit my use of using the D-pad on this controller because it's so loud, but admittedly, using the D-pad on these games is probably the way to go. Because these games weren't really designed with an analog stick in mind. Nor are they to this day. Well, actually, I guess the closest example would be playing this on the 3DS, because that does have an analog stick. So as far as legitimate analog stick usage goes, I think the 3DS is the only one that counts. But, we won't tell Nintendo about this, okay? We'll keep it our little secret. You promise? Okay. Hello. Mr. Pokemon's house, it's a bit farther ahead. It's a bit ahead, Kramer! And these guys are having a little Pokemon battle. Leave me alone. Alright, well, that's actually going to do it for our first episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. You know, tell me what you want to see out of the series. What kind of Pokemon, what kind of strategies. And also, if there's any other game recommendations that you'd want to see played on the channel, I would like to start getting back into doing these traditional Let's Plays again. I've been doing nothing but YouTube Shorts for, like, this past half year. And, you know, while some people like that, I'm sure, you know, my original fan base that's been here with me since the very start would love to see a return to this kind of video format. So let me know what you want to see on the channel. I'm open to suggestions, but that's going to do it this time. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.